Regardless of the attention we as writers give to a strong thesis, clear and well-developed paragraphs, and an appropriate voice and style, a piece of writing can only be as clear and strong as its mechanics. While these details are often overlooked or held to a lesser degree of importance, a writer's command of the English language and the knowledge and use of the rules is an essential part of the writing process. In this last lecture, we will discuss the mechanics of academic writing, including revising and editing, grammar, citations, and proper format. Mechanics and format has as much to do with our credibility as writers as it does with the physical appearance of the words on the page. Any piece of writing riddled with errors will do little to convince the reader that our argument is worth reading. If the writing is difficult to read because of inattention to language, the way it is presented on the page, or how carelessly it uses the ideas and words of other writers, it will reflect poorly on the writer. A writer needs to revise any piece of writing for clarity in argument and support, but also must edit and finally proofread for mechanical errors. This is because there's a lot of value in using good grammar. The same goes for being meticulous and ethical when using citations. All of this comes together in a piece of writing that needs to be presented to the reader in a particular format. In this digital age, there are a number of ways we can present our writing, but whatever that medium is, the format of that writing is essential. Let's clarify some definitions and dispel some myths. To begin, writers must understand that revising, editing, and proofreading are not the same thing. Each has a purpose and is used at different times within the writing process. Revision is a re-envisioning of ideas, an exploration of the topic or argument in new ways, finding new directions for your support, and even attempting to discover what a piece of writing really wants to be, regardless of where it began. Writing takes on a life of its own, and revision is about guiding that piece of writing and uncovering new ideas along the way. These are the higher order concerns of writing. Editing comes later, after creating a revised draft, or even several. This is a process of bringing clarity to the ideas, what we've defined in the second lecture as coherence. This will help a writer discover sentences that are unclear, paragraphs that need to be relocated, or a transition that needs tweaking. Finally, proofreading is that final housekeeping task every writer hates but is necessary. The mistakes in grammar and format are at the focus here. Attention to grammar, while many find it tedious, busy work, has everything to do with respect and credibility. Changing one's perspective on why it is important to write using proper grammar is important. A writer's audience will take any opportunity presented to them to lose trust in what they're reading. There's a lot at stake for every reader. They're taking time to read a piece, and they want to feel that it is worth their time. Showing respect by using good grammar proves to the reader that the writer is someone to be trusted, to be respected. Ethos, or the credibility of the writer, is on the line with every piece of writing he or she creates. Writers need to ask, do I want to be dismissed by my readers, or do I want to be taken seriously? Every writer wants the latter, and attention to good grammar will help ensure that. No writer needs to be a grammar expert and know every rule by heart, but recognizing something that just doesn't sound right when it is read will help a writer find and fix the obvious errors. Some of the most common grammatical errors a writer will encounter are sentence fragments, run-ons, comma splices, and issues with apostrophes and possessive nouns and pronouns. The best way to find these grammar mistakes is to read a piece of writing out loud during the proofreading phase. No writer can go at it alone. Feedback from an audience is the least a writer will need, but sometimes a writer will need to go further. Sometimes it's necessary to bring the words and ideas of others into our writing. Using outside sources not only helps support a writer's argument, but it allows the writer to join in the larger conversation surrounding a topic, discovering what others are saying and not saying, and bringing those to the reader's attention. No source should be used until the writer knows it inside and out. Only then can that source be used to its full potential. There are three ways to bring outside sources into a piece of writing. The first and most well-known is quotation. Direct quotes require the writer to use the words of others verbatim without changing the meaning or context of the passage. These need to be used very purposely, showing the reader why it's worth including in the paper. When a writer wants to use larger, broader ideas from another's work, paraphrase or summary will suffice. When a piece of writing is finally complete, the argument is solid, the support clear, the paragraphs and transitions in place, the last piece of the puzzle is considering the format which you'll present it to the reader. In academic writing, there are several different styles to choose from. Many disciplines have a preferred style, while others are more flexible. Some of the most common formatting styles are MLA, APA, and CMS. These each come with their own set of rules. While having so many choices might seem unnecessary, format is deeply connected to the writing's purpose and audience. We wear so many hats as writers, and it's important we put them each on during the writing process, whether you're at the revision stage, editing, or the final proofreading of a polished draft. Don't overlook the small things, especially the need for good grammar. And when it comes to bringing in the work of others, remember that presenting and integrating sources properly will reflect strongly on you and your credibility. And finally, format isn't just about making your writing look pretty. It helps that piece of writing achieve its purpose and engage your audience to make sure that all the time and energy put into that writing was worth every word. Thanks for joining me in this last lecture. Don't forget to complete the Part 3 quiz.